I want to thank everybody that's come out here to stand with their brothers and sisters defending the right that defends all the other rights. There's no doubt that if we lose the Second Amendment, it's over. We can't afford that. Yes, gun saves lives, absolutely, all the time. As I was looking at our beautiful flag, I was also thinking, how many here served in the military? Wow, thank you guys, thank you. Got anybody that's a police officer, ex-police officer, retired police officer? Yes, sir, we've got some of those. Thank those guys, they're out there too, protecting us. They've been given a bad rap overall. We're in this together, all of us as Americans. Whatever our race, our creed, we are Americans. And we have to fight back whenever our rights are being encroached. And I appreciate that, we're going to have people here from other parts of Northern Virginia, maybe other parts of the state, because we are a family. An attack on one of us should be viewed as an attack on all of us. If we don't take that attitude, they'll divide and conquer us. Hunters, you should stand with the target shooters. Target shooters, you should be standing with the hunters and with the self-defense people, everybody. All of us, just to the sheer fact that we're Americans is enough, but as people that really understand the importance and the beauty of our right to keep and bear arms in America, it's unique. Nobody else has got what we have. And there are people that want to take it away from us. And that's why we're here today. I have to say, we're one election. You're always one election away from losing your rights. And if anybody didn't believe it, I think they believe it now. They saw what happened in just a few months. The whole country looks like it's turned upside down right now. And I know I'm not the only one looking at it that way. Everybody I'm talking to is just still shaking their heads. What happened? What's happening? And it only reminds me all the more of how sacred and how important that right is to be able to protect ourselves. The problem is, one of the laws that got passed was a law that basically destroyed preemption. It used to be, it still is up until July 1, that localities have no authority to pass their own gun control. You could learn state law and you're good, but that's changed. And that was one of the worst things that came out of this last General Assembly session. Yeah, there was red flags and other things, but I'll tell you what, the one you're going to feel the sting on the most is this one if we don't do whatever we can to stop it. We need to stop it here, and it's going to come up in other places. I guarantee you, we're going to be going around the state in various areas. So a lot of the state is safe. I truly believe that 90% of Virginia isn't going to touch any of this stuff, but we can't blindly believe in that. And so one of the things that we've done is like here in Alexandria, they basically are planning on passing every possible restriction the General Assembly just gave them. Everything. It's not like, well, we think we have a problem here, we'll take care of this. No, they went for the whole enchilada. And none of it's necessary. They've been unable to do local gun control here and across the state since 2004, and actually no new gun control since 1987, I believe it was. Yes, 1987. All that time, we've had no problems. So what's the hurry? What's the deal? And on top of that, why is there no exemption even for concealed handgun permit holders? We shouldn't have to have a permit to have to carry here, but let me ask that one question anyhow. Anybody here have even the foggiest idea of what the permit revocation rate is for a concealed carry permit holder in the state of Virginia? Well, it's not quite zero, but you're getting down there. You start putting enough zeros and you start saying, well, we're going to round. It's 0.15 of 1%. 1/5 of 1% are revoked for any reason. This kind of people that have permits are the people that are here. We're the good guys. We don't hurt anybody. In fact, permit holders have stopped many crimes, and they've been able to protect themselves and their families. There's no reason for this. We all know it makes no sense. They're doing it just because they can do it, and that's not good government.
I think Phil said it best. They will do whatever they can to strip us of our rights. What part of shall not be infringed do they not understand? What part of the Constitution do they not understand? They think they can give us rights and take rights away from us. But the idea is that laws didn't give us our rights. We were born with rights. The Constitution didn't give us our freedoms. We were born with freedoms. We were born free. God did it. They're trying to take God out of the courtroom, out of the classroom, out of the Constitution, and do everything they can so they can run this country the way they want to run it. But we have to stop that. We have to stop the socialists and the Democratic Party from trying to give away our rights to vote, our rights to drive on our highways and take our guns away. We have to stop the socialists and the Democratic Party from not understanding that the Constitution belongs to us. We've got to tell them that you cannot do things that just do not make any sense. I'm running for Attorney General based on the rights of the people. Beginning with those rights is the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. That's right, gun rights, open carry rights, stand your ground in your own home rights. I'm running for Attorney General so Republicans can lift their heads up, lift their backs up, lift their vision up, lift their faith up, lift their anchor up, and turn this ship around. So much of what we see, we have to ask ourselves, where are the Republicans? Where are the patriots? Where two grown men can go outside of their home, up and down the street, holding hands and kissing, but one man cannot stand his own ground in his own home, holding his firearm for the protection of his family and his children. You got to ask, where are the patriots? Where are the Republicans? Where a Virginia governor can declare a statewide emergency, get this, a statewide emergency in advance of a peaceful Second Amendment rally, suspending the Second Amendment. You've got to ask yourself, where was the statewide emergency when that same governor and the Attorney General were found to run around in blackface? And the Lieutenant Governor in scandal. Where are the Republicans? Where are the patriots? Where the Virginia General Assembly can give its support, its constitutional support, get this, its constitutional support for the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment. Where is that constitutional support for the NRA, on the Second Amendment, on the constitutional and common sense fact that guns don't kill people, people kill people, and that the deranged and criminal citizens need to be brought to justice and held accountable? Did any Attorney General say, don't take guns from them, from us, take guns from them? That would be the common sense exercise of the police power of a state? No. Did an Attorney General say, don't punish the laws or the people who violate the laws? Punish the criminals and confine the mentally ill? No, he didn't. We're living in a Virginia where everything is turned upside down. What's happening in America, what's happening in Virginia is a doggone disgrace. We need to let them know that this is not the United States of the Democratic Party. This is the United States of America. And let's go one further. This is not the United States of the Black Lives Matter. This is the United States where all lives matter. Police lives matter. We don't live in one world order, as some people like to say. We live in one nation under God. Our rights were not given to us by Governor Northam, and he can't take those rights away from us. I'm telling you, what's crazy and what's insane is what they're doing, what people are doing to our country, not just the Democrats, but these crazy socialists. We need to send a message to all Virginians. I promise you this, the next Attorney General of Virginia will be an ally of America, not an enemy. The next Attorney General of Virginia will be an ally of the Constitution, not a Benedict Arnold. The next Attorney General of Virginia will be pro-American, pro-Virginia, pro-Trump, pro-life, a 100% card-carrying, gun-toting supporter of the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. We need an Attorney General who believes not just in our rights, but believes in the Second Amendment, because as Phil said, without the Second Amendment, we have nothing. We need an Attorney General who understands that we cannot go forward by going backwards. People want to take down our statutes. We say we need to send a message to them: you can't change history by taking down statutes. Look at what's happening around the country. You know why the Democrats want to take down statutes? Because they're the ones that put them up in the first place. They're afraid of their own shadow. Don't take my word for it. Do the history. It was the Democrats who gave us the KKK. It was the Democrats who gave us Jim Crow. It was the Democrats who put us in a situation where we had separate but equal. It's the Republicans who believe in this country, believe in going forward. Let me say this to you, that going forward, I don't know about you, but we need to defend America. We need to defend our Second Amendment rights. And we need to defend our president. And from this vantage point, if nowhere else, right now, in defense of the United States of America, this is where I stand. This is where we stand. Stand with us. Help us grow the faith in this country and get us back to where we should be as a nation. I will stand not only with Donald Trump, I will stand not only with our Constitution, but I will stand with the Second Amendment and with you in not only rolling back Alexandria, but rolling back every crevice and hole in Virginia that tries to take our Second Amendment rights away. So I just want to say that I thank all of you for coming today, but we need to recognize that the war is on. No longer can we be Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Nice Guy. We need not just to stand up for our rights, but we need to combat this at every single juncture, no matter where it is found. So help us God. Thank you all. God bless you. God save America.
It's just frustrating that we're even having to go through this, that we have, unfortunately, a party that's turned completely against gun rights. I don't understand it. I can tell you there are plenty of Democrat gun owners. My thinking is, if the leadership doesn't turn their ship around and stop attacking a basic human civil right, that they're going to see some people leaving their party and heading anywhere else to protect their gun rights. They're giving people no choice, and that's most unfortunate. These two parties should be battling over who can protect the rights of the people of America the best. Not have one saying, I'm going to protect them, and the other one saying, we're going to destroy them. That's not the way it's supposed to be. It's crazy.
As Phil said, my name is Brian Schaefer. I'm an Alexandria city resident and the local government team leader for the City of Alexandria Watch Team. Proposed ordinance will not enhance public safety, but it will make criminals out of legal gun owners who wish to carry a firearm for self-defense. My home is located in part of the city that is surrounded by public land and public parks. The proposed ordinance will make it virtually impossible for me to walk to my local shopping center to buy groceries while legally armed for self-defense. Many of you probably park in city-owned garages today. This proposed ordinance would ban the possession of firearms and ammunition in all city-owned garages. Given the current climate, now is not the time to increase potentially negative interactions between the police and the public. Yet this proposed ordinance does just that. How will Alexandria City Police enforce this ordinance in open spaces like public parks or at permanent events like the one we're having here today? Will they stop and frisk anyone they suspect of carrying a firearm? How about ammunition? Will the police stop and demand a person turns out their pockets if there is a suspicion that they may possess even one round of ammunition? This proposed ordinance is extremely intrusive and should not become law. If convicted, the penalty for violating the proposed ordinance is a Class 1 misdemeanor. A person could be sentenced for up to 12 months in jail and be fined up to $2,500. A conviction would be life-altering for someone with no previous criminal record. I appreciate you all for coming out today to stand together against...
We got to get good people into office. We got to stay woke. What everybody did, Lobby Day, they heard, oh, Lobby Day is going to be big. There's going to be millions of people there. It's going to be great. I'm going to go to Lobby Day. And they went, and now they're done. Oh, good. That was cool. You can't do that. The antis pound this every day. They work to take away your rights every day. VCDL, members like VCDL, have to do the same thing. Every day you get up, share an email. Do all of you know the names of your own delegates and senators? If you don't, you should. Go on the website, look up who's my representative, and don't just be the gun guy or a gun gal. When they're talking about something that you agree with on education or roads or something else, get involved with them so they know you. So then when they try and pull some crap like this, you can call them up and they know who you are, and you're like, you know old Uncle Bob that comes here. He goes, oh yeah, I like Bob. He goes, you're going to make him a felon because he carries a gun, because he's 70 years old and he can't defend himself unless he has some help. And you're going to make him a felon if you make it that he can't walk across the square, even concealed carrying. I mean, I'm the founder of Virginia Open Carry and the founder of DC Carry, so I'm a big open carry fan. But a lot of people don't open carry. They just want to walk around and mind their own business. And laws like this that are getting ready to pass are going to make them a criminal. I encourage you to join the VCDL if you're not a member. Sign up your friends to join VCDL. Work gun shows. Everybody's like, oh, I worked a gun show. That's great, but you're kind of talking to your own friends. Get involved with VCDL and set up a booth at a county fair or a festival and get people that don't know anything about VCDL and tell them about us and get them involved. So years ago, people would join VCDL and they'd get a membership kit in a couple weeks, and that was good to go. We'd have 8, so like a gun show. If we signed 12 people up at the gun show in our shift, we were doing good. Then we started getting like 80 people join and 100 people joined at a gun show. Well, pre-lobby day, we got over 1,000 applicants a day to join VCDL. We are tens. This is a double-edged sword. We are tens of thousands of applications in arrears. That is a good thing. That is a bad thing. Bruce Jackson, one of our board members, is working on some software and some things to help fix this. And the reason it exists is because this has never happened to us before. We don't outsource our member information, database, phone numbers, emails to anybody, which is why you never get spam or anything like that. But that takes time for people to fill the envelopes and do all the things. So we're trying to fix that. But if you joined up, PayPal, gun show, whatever, you're already a member. Don't worry about the little card. It will come, but you're already a member. And what the board did further, besides trying to fix that membership issue, is they said, if you joined, your membership is not going to expire until September of 2021. They see there's a problem. Don't worry about the card. You're a member. We're glad you're a member. So give yourself a hand for being a member. And remember, stay woke. That's your take-home. Stay woke. The reason people ask, why do you hand out the Gun Save Lives stickers? Because after this, you're all going to disperse and you're going to go to restaurants and Target and everywhere else. And people are like, Gun Save Lives, what's about that? You need to talk about the organization. The same way that people talk at their church and they like their church, whatever. This is your church. This is your life. This is what's going to keep you alive. This is what's going to keep you sane when something happens or something's going to come happen. And what a lot of people think, like, yeah, Second Amendment, self-defense. Second Amendment isn't really about self-defense. That's the frosting. That's the gravy you get. It's when you get governments that are doing stuff they shouldn't do. Of course they want to disarm you because they don't ever want to fight back with you when they say, okay, here's what we're doing. And you're like, no, you're not. And they're like, how can you stop us? You're defenseless. We do not give up our guns.
Good to see everyone here. As Phil said, we started Northern Virginia Citizens Defense League in 1994, and I just went back a few months ago and was looking at pictures. Our first thing we ever did was, it was actually only 5 people started the group. We had a Sheriff Dunning at that time, and I actually lived in Alexandria on Alexandria Avenue. So VCDL was started here in Alexandria, which is one of the reasons I came today. I currently live in Orange, Virginia, and on a 40-acre farm, and I love it there. But Alexandria, I love Alexandria too, because Alexandria is a beautiful historical city, and the people here in Alexandria are wonderful, law-abiding people and peaceable for the most part. But back in those days, in 1994, the sheriff was a Democrat, and he was an anti-gun sheriff. He decided to pass out flyers to people in Alexandria telling them they don't need guns to turn them in at a church, and his deputies would take their guns. So we organized a counter-protest in front of the church telling people, don't turn in your guns because you may well need them. And as we're seeing today with the Democrats in charge, you very well may need them because they're bringing rioting and looting to the city nearest you, unfortunately. Right now, I think this has been a crazy, crazy year. But for every crazy thing that goes on, there's going to be a good reaction, I think. I think it's waking people up to the nature of the people who are running Virginia right now, and they don't like what they see. I don't think there's too many people who agree with mobs looting and rioting in Richmond and other places in Virginia and hurting people and killing people. Right now, people are going out and buying guns in droves, so we need to hold true to our path and keep defending gun rights. I mean, it's been a while. I'm not quite as old as Phil is, but when I started VCDL, I had a full head of hair. So we can, keep your hair, but keep fighting. Now, one thing I think we need to do is change our mindset. The reason I started VCDL was I saw, we fought the last time the Democrats really pushed through gun control was back in that early 90s, 93 or so. They also had a majority of Virginia, and they were doing the exact same thing, trying to run gun control down Virginia's throat. And and I saw they pushed through the original one gun a month law that year. I saw that the tactics that was used by the national groups to say they defend gun rights really were very ineffective, and they weren't really doing much at the grassroots level. So that's why we started the Northern Virginia Citizen Defense League, and that's one reason why in '98 we went statewide to the Virginia Citizens Defense League. We need to fight effectively. We're always learning. We can always do better. And I will say to you here, there's probably 100 different ways we could do this. And don't get frustrated when your suggestions aren't taken up, because there really is not enough. There's 100 people who want to bell the cat, but not that many people who want to put the bell on the cat. I say if you have an idea, just go out and start doing it. Do it. You don't need a huge group. If it's a good idea, other people will jump in right behind it. We saw that with the Sanctuary County movement. That is a movement that just sort of took off. And if you look at the map of Virginia right now, the vast majority of Virginia, the local governments have said they reject any additional gun control. And that is going to be huge as we move forward. And the support for gun rights is deep in Virginia. When the sanctuary movement came out, a lot of this stuff has been going on Facebook. We pushed, in Orange, I pushed a note from VCDL and posted on the local, somebody had started a group, Uphold the Second Amendment in Orange, put it on there, and I was hoping maybe 50 people would show up at the supervisors meeting. And when I showed up at the supervisors meeting that was going to deal with the issue in January, actually December, whenever it was, there was over 1,000 people showed up from Orange County. There's only 50,000 people in Orange County. So, I mean, it was incredible. And those supervisors did not want to make Orange a Second Amendment sanctuary. They wanted to, the governor had threatened them. Orange County gets a lot of money because there's a lot of historical sites, and they basically threatened to take away their money. But when they saw the power and force behind the movement, they basically were forced, with their arm twisted behind their back, to declare it a Second Amendment sanctuary. And we're going to hold them to that. If they drop the ball, we'll remove them and put in people who will support the Second Amendment sanctuary. And it's going to be the same in the rest of Virginia. Now, one thing with all the threats of gun control going on and gun-free zones and whatnot, we need to redefine our, basically how you look at life and how you approach life is how you're going to deal with life. And I say we have to change our frame of reference. Are you a law-abiding gun owner? I say if the law is stupid, it's unconstitutional, you are a fool to obey the law. I say, do not let anyone infringe your rights. If you want to carry a gun where you want to go. If the law says you can't, then let them try to violate your rights. If they try to ban your guns, don't turn them in. If they try to register your guns, do not register them. If we all stick together and support, basically the only laws that I agree with are the ones that ban misuse of guns. Do not let them take away your gun rights. So we have to rebrand. We rebrand to peaceable gun owners. Law-abiding gun owners, not so much anymore. If they're going to pass stupid laws, forget that. Peaceable gun owners. We're going to preserve the peace. We're going to preserve our peace, our neighbors' peace, and society's peace. We're not going to stand by and let them burn down our society, take away our rights. We're going to fight. We're never going to give up, and we're going to keep up the fight. So thank you for coming out.
Yes. Yeah, well, Mark Shin is suggesting that, of course, we all should be contacting the mayor here. Be polite, but firm. Because I don't live here, but I will visit here. And I won't visit here if it's going to be a place that's like Berlin, where I can't carry and I'm on the other side of a wall. No thank you. So we all need to contact them. They need to understand there will be fiscal implications if they do this. And that gun owners just aren't in the mood for this. Yeah, well, yes, Moms Demand Action, she was asking about that. They were, I guess, going to show up here to protest us or something. I don't know what happened, but anyhow, we've been also reaching out again to women. Women are of all things, women benefit the most from gun rights. They benefit far more than men. Yes, thank you, ladies. So it's the absolute truth. And I always congratulate a husband whose wife carries. I think that's wonderful. And it takes a big burden off the husband knowing that his wife is safe when he can't be there. That is huge. So ladies that carry, I also applaud you just for the sheer fact that you're doing that. You're making life better for not only yourself, your family, but your husband as well. VCDL has always been as diverse as it can be. We welcome everybody into the organization because that's what we need to protect the right. The right's for everybody, so we all need to be in here protecting the right. It doesn't matter what else you believe. It doesn't matter what religion you are or what religion you're not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your skin color. We're all in this, and we need to stay that way. We need to be America. We need to make it so when people up here in the ivory tower look down, they see a swath of America. They see everybody. How many here made it to lobby day? Okay, nice. Yeah, those of you that didn't, you really, really missed something huge. I can't even describe what that was like, to have that many thousands of people there. And the thing about it was, for those of you that were there, I thought was fascinating, was just how happy everybody was. This was fighting for our rights, but we weren't hating anybody. Everybody was smiling and talking to each other. Everybody was welcome there. Nobody was intimidated or run off.
I've never felt safer in my life.
No, and you weren't safer than any other time in your life. That was the safest city in America during that day. Yeah, me too. It was wonderful. It was absolutely spectacular. We're going to do it again on the 18th of January. You want to be there for this one. We've got to do the same thing. We've got at least one more year of attacks on our rights. Next year's going to be interesting because it's a major election coming up too. That'll also temper a lot of things. But again, if we don't stand up to this stuff, if they think we're falling back to sleep, dozing off, then things are going to start to happen again. We can't do it. Because at some point, things are going to turn. And but I tell you what, the first chance there is to run some of these people out on a rail with another candidate taking over. I think a lot of you guys will be racing to get to the polls. You won't be able to get there quick enough to get them voted out. And that's what it's going to take. The truth is, the politician needs to feel pain if they're on the other side. They need to feel pain. Their phones need to ring off the hook. They need to get emails.
Long ago, Philip graced a podcast I had, Democracy in America. It was one of our first podcasts, and it was our most popular. So, Philip, thank you for doing that for me. Now I'm just a mom. I was a homeschooling mom, and my son grew up. My children have grown up now, and my oldest son is a sniper in the Marine Corps. So, and we've taken, they started learning how to use guns when they were just 11 years old. Just as soon as they could handle the gun, we started teaching them. But I'm really here to make a pitch. Out of all of these people who are here, some of you must have the qualifications to run for office. What we are desperately in need of is quality people who are willing to step forward. It's a huge sacrifice, I know, but we have people who will help you. We have people who will train you. We have people who will help get you funding. We will help you design websites and brochures. We will help you craft an entire message. We will help you get it out by door knocking and publications and social media. But what we need is for you to step forward by raising your hand. Now, I work on the Republican side of the House, and we are just really, really desperate for quality candidates. If you feel called to serve your nation in that special way, we have openings, everything from dog catcher to senator. And we need you to step forward at whether you're 18 years old or you're 70 years old, we need you. So please consider that and find one of us around, or you can just contact your local Republican Party and they will set you up. So God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.